I'm Evelyn Ware, and I'm your host for Artist to Artist at the Corner. And I have Quon with me today, who is a collage artist. How are you doing, Quon?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Welcome to Artist at the Corner.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. What inspired you to create the kind of art that you do?
Trash. I love trash. I love junk. I think for the longest time, I was the type of person who would try to find the beauty in what other people would consider discarded, junky things, and it kind of got me on this path to collaging, bringing things together. Because when I say I'm a collage artist, I do mean collage in more ways than one. Like physically, I do gather scraps and I put them together because I want my art to feel kind of excavative. You know how you will see a billboard and it's kind of tattered.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that. Or even, those boards where it's like a lot of flyers and you see the people like stacking papers on top of each other. I've always been so attracted to that because it has such a narrative quality that feels so interesting to me. I'm so entranced by that. But when I say collage, I do mean more things than that. When I think of the materials I use, when I think of even the way I go about organizing these materials, digital, sketch, painting, sculpture, like I collage everything. I throw everything I have at these canvases, and then I take a step back and I'm like, okay, this is how I feel, this is what that means for me. So if I had to say what got me on this path, it was really just that. Finding different things that I like and trying my best to make them cohesive.
Yeah, make them work together.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Like a
pretty
puzzle.
cool. Yeah. Are there any particular artists or movements that really inspired your work?
I think one of the most obvious inspirations for me is Basquiat. I love that guy.
Why?
Graphic communication.
Oh.
Being able to have symbols that represent what it is that you want to say speaks to me on such a large level. Naturally, I'm a visual person, so it helps. It helps to organize my thoughts to see things like that. And I think from his perspective, a black artist figuring out his way through life, being so young, being so immersed in this world, and try to make sense of that. I'm so connected to the idea of that. But I also like artists like Egon Schiele, Jenny Saville, Kara Walker.
Yeah.
People who like figurative work, and it's almost distorted in a weird, kooky way.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. How long have you been doing this kind of work?
Really all my life, but if I had to say professionally or taking it seriously, about 7 years, like really getting into it, really figuring out who I am artistically.
So when you were a little kid, did you do that kind of thing?
All the time.
Yeah, you did, huh?
I couldn't help myself, yeah. Like I said, because it's really like building a language for myself outside of words or outside of, these normal ways of communication. If I could find a way to say what I need to say without having to actually say it, that's the best way for me to get my idea
to
across.
express yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for as long as I can remember. Because of course we all start doodling from a young age just to get those ideas out, scratch them out of your head. But for whatever reason, it stuck with me. So,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How do you feel about having your work debut at the Corner?
It feels so cool, to be honest. It feels like everything is falling into place.
Oh,
You know,
good.
I think naturally we look for signs to see that, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. And this feels like one of those signs. Like, to meet the people I've met through this, to have the experiences I've had, it feels nice. It feels, I'm honestly honored.
Yeah.
Because to say a sense of community is important is, like, that's obvious.
Right.
But to actually be in a community, find a space where you're amongst people who, even if they don't understand your perspective, they're trying to. We're trying to understand each other. We're trying to communicate. That's really important.
Yeah, and elevate one another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we are hoping to really be able to help you along your path, and that's our purpose at the corner.
Yeah.
So what do you think you'd really like to see your the audience resonate with your art when you debut at the corner? What would you like them to have a takeaway? What kind of takeaway would you like for them to experience?
I think one of the main things about my work or my practice is me giving myself access to myself. You know, my thoughts. What is it that I'm really thinking about? What is it that I'm truly observing? So if they can see my work, see how I'm showing things, understanding my lens, if that could help them understand their own lens and understand their own perspective and take that time to think about what they're considering, I think that's all I really want.
Yeah.
People to pay attention to themselves like I'm trying to pay attention to myself right now.
Yeah. Great. Now, what kind of advice would you give a person that's just starting out, an artist that's got a particular passion, you know, in a particular area? What would you say to them to help them to get started, to pursue their passion in the arts?
Don't judge your thoughts. Observe them. Observe them and note them as best as you can. Find a language that suits you best. Whether that is, once again, graphic, or if it's something more linguistic, just really pay attention to yourself and don't judge those thoughts. Just let them flow and say what you need to say. Also, one of the things I remind myself of, I keep having to remind myself of, is to let go of the idea of making your art smart and say what it is that you need to say. Everybody has their own perspective and it's all important.
Right.
So it's important to share that particular perspective. That's the best way you can do it.
Yeah. It sounds to me like communication is a big piece of the reason that you do this, is to be able to communicate how you feel and to see how your audience will interpret what you've created.
Yeah. And honestly, even if they interpret it a way that's not aligned with what I'm trying to portray, I'm fine with that. Because one of the things I feel like I've learned throughout the journey is how to be comfortable in my own obscurity.
Yes.
People can paint whatever pictures they want as long as they're looking at the painting, you know?
Right, right. And enjoying the work.
And enjoying the work, exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's been such a pleasure to talk with you. Is there anything you'd like to share that you'd like your audience to know more about you?
I'm a pretty cool dude. I like to keep it chill. I'm a regular person. I think that's important. You know, for people to realize or see the humanity in other people. And I think that's one of the things I try to highlight in my work. Just, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be bigger than who I am. I just want you to understand me.
Yeah, to do this. I'm excited.
Me too,
aren't you?
I really am, yeah.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here in this space to do this. You know, I don't know if I don't know who, you know, I know Mike Weary is here and we're in his space. And it's going to be an awesome time.
Yeah.
So it's October 1st from 3 to 5. And that's the first Sunday.
First Sunday.
Yes, the first Sunday. And every first Sunday we'll be here, you know, and we'll be featuring another artist on Artist to Artist at the Carrie Siraj Community Arts Center.
I'm so appreciative of it.
At the corner.
At the corner.
The corner. Art is a language that transcends words, and Quon's work speaks volumes. Join us on October 1st from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Carrie Siraj Community Arts Center in the Artist Studio.